Imagine a time when motorcycles ruled the roads and biker culture was at its peak. It's the late 1960s, and a storm is brewing in the heart of Great Britain. The Hells Angels, the infamous motorcycle gang that has taken the United States by storm, has set their sights on new horizons. Their arrival in a country with no significant biker scene sent shockwaves through the nation. Proudly donning their iconic leather cuts, emblazoned with the skull and wings, they left an indelible mark on the British landscape. But little did they know they weren't the only ones seeking a slice of the British motorcycle pie. Another motorcycle gang is present in Britain, the Outlaws. The exact timing of their arrival on the island remains unclear to this day. Some sources claim they are already there before the Hells Angels, while others assert that the Outlaws established their roots in Britain only in the late 1980s. The relationship between the Hells Angels and the Outlaws is a blend of collaboration, rivalry, and conflicts. The conflicts between the two clubs do not originate directly from issues between them. The Hells Angels initially become embroiled in a feud with a club named the Outcasts, which has connections to the Outlaws. Tensions between the Hells Angels and the Outcasts begin in 1997, when the Outcasts plan to ally with another club called the Lost Tribe MC to form a powerful biker group. However, things take an unexpected turn when the Lost Tribe MC decides to join the Hells Angels instead. In November of the same year, two Outcasts members are stopped by the police. They are en route to confront Hells Angels members and are armed. A direct collision could be prevented here by the intervention of the officers. The confrontation continues in January 1998 at a legendary rocker reunion concert held in a large hall. Among the 1,700 attendees are members of the Outcasts. On that day, the Hells Angels appear ready to attack. In a tragic incident, two Outcasts members are assaulted and succumb to their injuries. This event reignites hostilities between the two clubs, triggering a spiral of further confrontations. The feud between the Hells Angels and the Outcasts evolves into a fierce conflict, marked by recurring clashes. Some sources claim that the Outlaws also become involved in the conflict following the events of 1998, further intensifying tensions between the clubs. The activities and presence of the Hells Angels and the Outlaws in Britain are closely monitored by law enforcement authorities to counter criminal activities and ensure public safety. Laws and measures are implemented to address the crimes committed by biker groups while the battle for dominance on British streets continues. But the watchful eye of the government cannot control all bikers at all times. It is a sunny day in August when the Bulldog Bash, an annual biker gathering, is in full swing. Initiated by the Hells Angels, the event has grown from modest beginnings to become one of the largest biker gatherings in Europe. Year after year, the event expands, and in 2007, for example, a total of 50,000 people flocked to the Bulldog Bash, just so you can imagine how big of a thing that is. However, the event's venue, the Shakespeare County Raceway in Warwickshire, is not without tension as it purportedly lies in Outlaws territory. In 2001, an incident occurs that remains unresolved to this day, causing unease. A Hells Angel is preparing to leave the Bulldog Bash when a black car suddenly appears next to him. Without warning, shots are fired at the biker from the car. Luckily, the biker is only hit in the foot. He survives the attack, but the perpetrators remain unknown. The incident goes unresolved as nobody is willing to cooperate with the police.
This is a typical behavior of biker club members. It is important for them to keep the police and authorities out of their affairs. Those who do not comply will, if they are lucky, only be excluded.
In the following years, from 2001 to 2007, the conflict between the Hells Angels and the Outlaws appears to calm on the surface. However, what transpires behind the scenes remains concealed and will likely remain a secret forever. Towards the end of 2006, though, the Outlaws devise a plan. According to police information, the president of the Warwickshire chapter of the Outlaws is planning an attack. Their target is a Hells Angels biker, and once again, the Bulldog Bash seems to present the perfect opportunity for the attack. The president of the Outlaws even sets up a small shooting range on his property to practice aiming. In total, 7 outlaw bikers are involved in this incident set to take place at the Bulldog Bash 2007. Surveillance cameras capture footage of the Outlaws members scouting the area outside the Bulldog Bash. August 12th arrives, and Jerry Tobin, a Hells Angels biker, is captured on a surveillance camera refueling around 2 p.m. He is accompanied by 2 other Hells Angels bikers. Shortly after the recording, the 3 bikers take to the highway. At the same time, the Outlaws are traveling in a Rover on the highway, searching for a full patched Hells Angels member. When they spot the 3 men, they decide to carry out their plan. Jerry is hit, and his Harley Davidson is riddled with bullets. Jerry later succumbs to his injuries. From the point of view of the outcasts, the attack was a success. But when police found the burnout Rover linked to the shooting, Sean Crichton was arrested shortly afterwards. He'd used his own vehicle to carry out the execution. While Crichton pleaded guilty, the 6 other men denied any involvement. If it wasn't for Malcolm Bull, who broke the bikers' code of silence by speaking to the police, it's possible that only Crichton, Garside, Turner, and Bull himself would have been sentenced to life in prison. In the end, all 7 were handed life sentences, with minimum time spent behind bars ranging from 25 to 30 years. But one of those convicted has been sentenced to a full life term. Malcolm Bull isn't just at risk from the Hells Angels, but from his former fellow outlaws by breaking a strict code of silence that is at the very heart of one-percenter biker culture. The Outlaws' motto is "God forgives, outlaws don't," and it's unlikely Malcolm Bull will be allowed to forget that anytime soon.